Hello and welcome back. This is Vincenz and today we're going to be focusing on Vaughan missions. These are the illegal bounty hunter missions you can get on the unverified section of the missions tab. And they are illegal, so make sure you take down the comrade if you're going to be doing these missions. So we just finished our first mission, and on this ship we have got 8 maize, which we have not seen in a long time. We've got 5 Altrusia toxin and 3 gasping weevil eggs. Maize used to run at about 90k, which is a little bit less than gasping weevil eggs at 112.5k. But in the latest patch, maize is running at 225k per SCU, which is absolutely massive, double the value of gasping weevil eggs. So this little 8 SCU container is going to net us around 1.8 million. The gasping weevil eggs we're going to have to sell at a salvage yard, but the maize we can take to Crew L4 and sell it nice and easy without the risk of being pirated. Today we're running in a group of 3 and we're getting as many missions done as possible. We'll take all the Altrusia toxin as well because we've got to go to the salvage yard to get rid of these weevil eggs. So we might as well take everything while we're here. I'm going to use my star map and plot a course to Crew L4. And as we go to set the route, we get the usual bug where the route just disappears and we can't do it through the star map. If you want to get rid of this, just jump to any nearby point, and then from there you can open up your star map and set your route.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
So we're going to chuck all the drugs on the elevator and load them down into the warehouse, and then we'll nip up to the terminal to sell them. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you sell straight from your ship, because I have been getting a lot of comments as to why I load everything down into the warehouse. So I'd be interested to know if it works just selling straight off your ship. I've not done that for quite a while. The latest patches we've had this warehouse, and I was under the impression that you had to load everything down and sell it from there. If you don't have to do that, let me know in the comments. It would be great to know. So we're running up to the locker room and hopefully the terminal will be working. Sometimes it doesn't work and I have to log over to another server. But today it's working, so let's see. Here we go, 8 SCU of maize is exactly 1.8 million. That is crazy for an 8 SCU crate, man. That is a lot of money. We've also got these Ultra Toxin, 160k, better than a slap in the face, might as well grab it while you can. Normally I ignore it, but if I'm heading straight to sell, I load up as many as I can because every little bit helps. We've still got these weevil eggs on board, so let's nip to a salvage centre and get rid of these before we go on to the next mission. I'm going to head to ArtCorp, Samson & Sons salvage yard. Usually my favourite place to sell. Let's just hope the elevator's working when we get there. As usual, we're landing in the dark, and the headlights are working in the ship. They've not been working recently, but today they are. We could still do with some landing lights, but once you've landed here a few times, you get to know where to put the ship. The containers seem to be locking in on the lift, which is a good sign, and hopefully the lift will be working when we get to the console. So we loaded the goods down. Here at the terminal, our 7 gasping weevil eggs gets us another 780k. So altogether there, we've made 2.6 mil on our first Vaughan mission. We are running in a group of 3 today, so obviously everything will be divided by 3 at the end. But so far, 2.6 mil for 20 minutes work is pretty good. Coming up to the next Vaughan mission now, and we're going to try and scan the ships. We've got a C2, which is always of interest, so we're going to try and check what's on board. It is a bit irritating that the scanner seems to jump to every other ship but the one you want while you're right in front of it. And at the same time, you've got to use these MFDs to scroll quickly through the loot that's on the ship. So it takes us a little while, but eventually the scanner does stick on the C2 and we can quickly scroll down and see what we've got. 50 Widow, not bad, and another 20 Gasping Weevil Eggs. That is another 2.3 mil of Weevil Eggs, and we'll see how much of this 50 Widow we're going to be able to sell. I'm guessing it'll be a 32 SCU container, which unfortunately are just not sellable in-game right now. I don't know why no one's kicking up a fuss about it, and why they haven't removed them altogether from the game if you're not going to be able to sell them. And sure enough, there it is, the 32 SCU box. We've got room in the cargo hold, so I might as well chuck it in there, and maybe one day we'll be able to sell them. We have got some smaller boxes, and these we will be able to sell at the salvage yard. So let's get them on board and head back to Samson & Sons. Arriving at Samson & Sons, we can see there's quite a lot of activity going down at the yard, so we're just going to leave this one and head straight to Hurston, and we'll sell it at Orinth. The boys have landed first, and we've got another 26 SCU of Weevil Eggs on the Corsair. So just on these two ships now, we've got about 3 mil on the Corsair and about another 2.3 mil on the Taurus. So that's 5.3 mil. We did make 2.6 mil before, so we're about 8 million in, and we've only been going for about an hour. Luckily this lift is working and the boys are snapping on all the cargo, and once they've loaded it up I'll set the Taurus down and we'll unload. Working as a team of 3 makes these missions a lot easier, a lot quicker to unload and load all your boxes, and it cuts down the time massively instead of doing these missions on your own. Between the 3 of us we've made over 2 mil each so far, which is not a bad return for a couple of missions, and we've also got some legal cargo that we've dumped at Seraphim that we'll pick up later and hand in at the TDD. Stacking these 2 big 16 SCU boxes on top of each other, and they should be able to lower down fine. We have done that quite a few times before, where the 2 containers have just gone straight down into the lift. But weirdly enough this time, it only goes down about 3/4 of the way and one of them is sticking out a little bit. But the doors are closing, it's not blowing up, so hopefully that loot will get loaded down into the warehouse. Boom, and there it goes. So we've got our 18 SCU of Widow. We've got our 20 Gasping Weevil Eggs for 2.25 million. Ten Ultratoxin at 56k. And 18 Widow for 245k. Unfortunately that 32 SCU container we're not going to be able to sell, but we will store it in one of our warehouses and maybe one day we'll be able to sell it somewhere. We've still got that 32 container of Widow, so on the way back to Crusader we'll nip into Crew L4. We get to the terminal and sure enough the 32 SCU container cannot be sold, even though they've got very low inventory, but the shop does not accept this container size. So we're going to leave that there at Crew L4 and we're going to head back to Seraphim, where we're going to unload this little box of Quantanium, and then we're going to head to Sanctum's hangar and we're going to load up all this legal cargo and we're going to take it down to a TDD in Lawville on Hurston. So Sanctum's got the C2 all ready to load, and we're going to just each individually pull up our loot that we need to sell, and we'll load them into different areas of the cargo bay and offload them in Lawville to our respective warehouses. We're also going to load up whatever drugs we've got hanging around, because we're going to stop at Crew L4 on the way to Hurston and just get rid of these out of our warehouse. Medical supplies we're going to leave in the warehouse because we can sell them upstairs at Seraphim Station, so we don't need to take them anywhere and they can easily be sold. So I've raised up my stuff, and I got 65 SCU of Quantanium, and 16 SCU of Bexelite, and 4 SCU of gold. Between the three of us, we load up the C2 in no time. Sanctum's got his stuff at the front, we've also got some group stuff at the front, and we've got my Quantanium and Bexelite at the back of the ship. Jumping in the co-pilot seat for the first time in the new patch, I've noticed that I can control the shield strength, and I can also control where power is going to, whether it be weapons, engines or shields. That's going to make the pilot's job a lot easier, and it's going to make us a lot more dangerous in combat. So our last stop of the night is in Lawville, so all that's left to do now is send our goods to the warehouse and head to the TDD and see how much more money we're going to make. I'm unloading my stuff onto one elevator at the back of the C2, and we're going to load the other stuff onto the other elevator from the front of the C2. Quick train journey through Lawville, and we've arrived at the TDD. There isn't so much lag anymore in Lawville, which means it's pretty cool to come here and sell. It's a great looking city, but in the past it was just unplayable due to lag. But it seems to be working pretty well now, pretty smooth. So I'm going to check my warehouse, and I've got my 4 SCU of gold, 16 SCU of Bexelite, and 65 SCU of Quantanium. So the gold's not worth much these days, and the Bexelite's about the same. They're both about 7k per SCU. But 65 SCU of Quantanium is 1.6 mil. So overall it was a pretty good night between three of us. We made about 8 mil in drugs, and then I handed in my 65 Quantanium for 1.6. So in the end I came away with nearly 4 million. Thanks for watching guys, hope you liked this video. Please like, please subscribe, and until the next time, take it easy.